first I'll tell about my this thing. Then I have a question from you as well, Manet. I'll tell you. So the thing is now, Platinum, we were sending students abroad, okay,
Yeah.
through other agencies. So in the beginning, that's what it happened, okay.
Yeah.
Then we thought, fine, we will start it small, and we have collaborated with some Malaysian universities.
Yeah.
So make sure that we don't just say that university is good. Last December, we went to Malaysia.
Okay.
So last December, by this time, 2019, I was in Malaysia, me and all my partners.
Yeah.
So we went to some of the universities, 4, 5 universities, and actually we spent our New Year there. We missed our flight on 31st
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, I
31st
remember
and
this.
1st
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Yeah.
Malaysian airport.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we thought, okay, fine. We went there, we checked the university.
Yeah.
Of course, we can't lecture quality and all these things, but we then came and we recommended the students, okay, if you all want to go to Malaysia because it's value for money,
Yeah.
VFM,
Yeah. Yeah.
Malaysia, it's quite cheap, okay,
Yeah.
and with the if it comes to its scholarships, it's even cheaper. So we have currently started with the Malaysian universities
Okay.
for now.
Okay.
In the future, we will look into UK, Australia, US, Canada, but currently again that operations completely fell apart because of COVID.
COVID. Yeah.
All the airports are closed. So for now, the operations are is it's halted for now. For now, it's on a halt. So in the future, we'll definitely look into that. Then Manit, I actually wanted to ask you. Now there were so many students, from different schools. They come and they'll be like, "Sir, I want to apply for this university. What is the procedure?" Now, being very honest, uh, I didn't apply for any foreign universities. I got a call. I got a call for my master's, 100% call, but I didn't go because I was already settled here with my career field, so I didn't want to go there. I think I told you all. Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I wanted to ask my Manit. Now there were so many students. They asked how to get this done. Malaysia, then US, Canada. So the whole procedure. So and I know what you went through, and I remember. And I loved your podcast. Whatever you put, I normally listen. So I
Okay.
even recommend them watch it. So Manit, so how was it like once you finished your A levels? Like what were you doing and how did you apply
Yeah.
and what unis you got, what unis you didn't get,
Yeah.
scholarships. So if you can elaborate on those things, it would be great.
Yeah, 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 sure. So I think Ishiri, you could also kind of add on to this, but like,
Sure.
so what I did like after A levels was, the first thing I did was actually like, and a lot. This is something like a lot of people miss. It's like I think I went to this two-step procedure where like I firstly figured out what kind of universities I could afford, like that, and that those are like my safety schools because I knew like if I could afford those unis and I had like enough resources to kind of get in. So like first thing you do is like you find a university that you can afford and you could get into for sure so that okay, like I definitely will go to this place and like this is my backup, and then you call that a safety. That's the first layer. And then you do like the scholarship research on like those unis and unis above that, where like let's say you first and understand like your budget, right? Like you understand how much you can pay and like what if anything what the university should cover, and then you research on each university's like financial aid policy. And this is something that a lot of people miss, I think. So there are two types of like scholarships generally, like, and I think for each country and each university is like it's different, but like for scholarships and financial aid there are two types. So one is called need based, where if you get into the university and they like let's say you have like a financial gap, like which you kind of need to cover, they will most probably cover like a decent amount for you, right? And like I have friends who got like 100% scholarships and whatnot, and and there's another type called merit scholarships in general. So that those are the scholarships that are given on your achievements. So that's what people need to understand. So whatever is like out of their budget, they need to see, okay, is there like a scholarship or like a financial aid kind of like scenario where they could kind of like reduce that cost. And they need like you can kind of estimate how much you can get reduced from like their websites and whatnot. I think a lot of people like don't realize that a lot of
Just
this.
to, just to
Yeah,
interrupt you, Manit.
yeah,
Just to interrupt you. Now, it's not all the unis, right? Uh,
yeah. There are
I'm
there,
sure
there are
not all
some
the
there
countries,
are,
right?
yeah, not all the countries, and I think so. Like I think the countries that are much more generous with their scholarships, I would say like the US, there are like more financing options. I would say like in the US, like you get like the many cases where like, you get a full scholarship would be in the US. Like, but the student like I if you want to get into something like a Ivy League university, like a top 10 kind of university, you'd have to like you'd have to be relatively more impressive than just your studies and whatnot. But I think the rest of the unis were like I think the UK, I don't see a lot of international students getting scholarships as far as I've seen. And Canada, you actually get a decent amount of scholarships. Like I think like for example at McGill, in my case, I got I got like close to about 50 plus ish scholarship, and on top of that, I got like an exemption, so like a 1 year's exemption. So that's another thing people could check. They could check this thing called the advanced standings or like advanced credits that each university gives, right? And they could, like in my case, like I got an entire year cut off. So yeah, so like yeah, so that can
So your degree was 4 years or 3 years? It was a 4 year
so
degree.
so it's a 4 year degree. So what I'm doing is I reduce it to 3 years, and then in the middle I'm doing internships. So what I do when I get to internships is like I kind of like supplement like so I cover my costs basically, because internships here pay like a decent amount. If you get like good internship, they pay you like $7,000 per month kind of thing. So
Okay.
like it helps you cover like a lot. So yeah, that's basically like what I do. And in terms of getting the ones I got and the ones I didn't, so I got like all the big three in Canada, so like University of Toronto, UBC, McGill. And I in the US I got like listed on financial aid, and this is what I did wrong when I was applying. So I applied to some schools which didn't give enough financial aid, and I thought okay, like they would make like an exception to me, but like these schools, the top schools in the US are very competitive, like extremely competitive, and I thought I could kind of supplement that to like a different university where like so you can get like all these student stories where like if you go on like some stuff like Reddit, or even if you like go through their page, you'll see like they'll speak to you about whether they give aid to like international students and whether international students have got it before. So like the main I would say even people should even consider options like in the UAE, so like NYUAD, that's a good school. Yale and US, that's another good school. The Asian schools also give like a decent amount of like
Scholarship.
scholarships. I think even like Malaysia, like you said, I've seen people get it. So I think the trick is if you have like a good result, you can like, and if your financial situation is like doesn't really help you out that much, you apply to like a relatively like lower ranked school with where like you stand out more in the application pool and you can get more scholarships. In my opinion, yeah, yeah. I hope I answered your question. Is there anything like
Yeah, 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 and I have another question. Now
yeah,
the thing is, maybe 6 months or 1 year back, one student she came,
yeah,
and she was like she applied to a Canada university, so she had done 3 subjects,
yeah,
and for maths she had got a D. All other 3 subjects she got A's and A stars, as far as I remember.
yeah.
Then this Canadian university they didn't accept her because
Oh yeah.
they don't have some of the subjects in the basket.
Okay. Okay.
So I want to know, is there any like I know this, but I want to about
Yeah.
when you say it will be better. So is there any specific subject that will give high value for your scholarship and
Oh right.
like to get accepted for the universities? Is there anything like that in your unis and all? If you can
I
tell
th-
students.
I think yeah, like I would agree with that in the sense that yeah, I think maths and further maths, those are like I would say virtually maths is like important for like almost every unit. Like if you do math, you're probably going to be like set. Like you could apply like anywhere, in my opinion. It doesn't like it reduces the restriction. Further maths, it's more of like that's just like a additional flex on like it'll help you with scholarships in the sense that if you're good at the subject, I think like people should do it. Like if you're very interested in math, you should do it because like when you're applying for scholarships, you really stand out, and like you also get a lot of courses like your inter courses cut off if you do further math, and like you are very ready for university. um so yeah, but I think maths is like the main like one subject that I think a lot of people should consider more seriously because there's this fear surrounding it, but I don't think it's as difficult as people put it. I think it's just a matter of practice, especially A levels. It's just a like matter of I think just hacking the exam. Like in mathematics, it's like
Yeah,
if you see like you don't need to be this Einstein to do it. Like you just all you need to do is just
exactly.
practice papers and like the same
Yeah,
format comes around and you just like apply it to the numbers. Like that's literally it's just I think the reason why people become unsuccessful in it is because they just overcomplicate it in their heads. Like it's the
exactly,
fear that kind of
exactly.
stops them from getting good results. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is very important because maths. Yeah, yeah.
No,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Ishira.
No, I was just saying I second Manit's like thing on math, and I also suggest like for the math, yeah, definitely like it's like an enrichment opportunity, right? So like you don't have to take it, but you take it because you want to take it, right? And that says something to colleges, right? They're like, oh, this kid like he's quantitatively inclined and he wants to further himself by taking this extra course, right? And
Yeah.
it looks good on your application when things like that are there. And then I'd also suggest physics because that's also like another quantitative thing, right? I like at least at Stanford, almost all of my friends who are in STEM fields, in sciences and engineering, they all took like physics at the AP level, which is like the A level thing in the US, right? So yeah, I think that's also some another subject that adds a lot of value to your applications.
Yeah, so those are considered like core subjects. So like
Oh
even
yeah, that's true.
economics,
Yeah,
economics is considered like a core subject, but I don't think business studies is considered as like a core subject. For example, even accounting is considered like a softer subject. So I think economic like so that range is like really good. And another thing I think people forget is like I know a lot of people who want to do economics in A levels that they run away from math sometimes, but people forget that once you go to university, it's a lot of
it's
like
calc-based.
calculus
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah.
So like yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
The other thing I wanted to bring up was like even for exams like in certain things like the SAT and all of that, like things like math help a lot because like you like if you know this stuff, like it's easy to do these exams when you get into if you want to apply to the US, for example. Like so yeah,
So maths is one of the most important subject, right?
I think so, I think so.
100%.
Because I of course tell most of the students when they do econ, make sure you all do maths. But
Yeah,
most of them they're scared, they are not confident,
Yeah.
yeah.
and some of them they regret once they apply for universities. They'll be like, "Sir, I don't have maths, so they I can't go for this uni, etc., etc." So that's what I just wanted to, with your experience, you all told that's great. So the students will know how important like the core subjects and non-core
Yeah.
subjects.
And
Yeah,
I can add
yeah,
like a personal story, like the issue with like being afraid of math, because like I didn't take O levels here in I wrote my O levels here in Sri Lanka, but then I went to Canada for the rest my A level years. But like in O level, they offered further pure maths, right? Which is like it's like the O level version of further maths, right? And
Okay.
I got a 58 the first exam, right? Like I got yelled at by my teacher and stuff like that. But like you can hack the exam, right? And like you can you don't have to be like a 150 IQ, 200 IQ genius to like be good at math, right? You just need to understand what the questions are, right? And you need to have like previously seen the questions, right? Because they're never going to give you a question that's entirely new to math. They're always going to give you something that's in the format of something that has been asked in previous years or in previous past papers, right? So if you can practice, it'll get you like 98% of the way there. I think that's it. Like if you can like dedicate yourself to doing say like the last 6 years past papers, that's I think you're there, you're halfway to an A star.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And I think the last thing I would say just about like university, unless you have more questions, so is just that I think people should just like diversify their options. And I think each university, like there's a lot of research to be done. If there's anything like the people need to kind of like sit down and look at universities and really read everything that they offer. I think I think the whole point is just like when you diversify your options everywhere. Like I basically applied like all across the world, and I realized okay, like even Australia, I think they give a decent amount of scholarships. And that's something I personally didn't because like I got McGill and stuff, and like I was sorted out at that time. But like I think people should consider like applying all across the world and just like seeing what their options are like once they open up, because your finance situation, everything changes in that period where you get an offer and like when you're applying, right?
Makes sense. Makes
Like
sense.
especially COVID, right? Like
Makes sense.
look at how that affected like so many people during this time. So
So many, yeah.
so like that's something to remember. I think people should apply, like keep their like kind of cards everywhere and just see once things open up like what choices they could make, because like your situation changes at that time. And I initially thought I'd be in this like US institution and like going somewhere like that, but my life completely changed in like a couple of days. So like yeah, it's something to remember. I hope like we clarified everything you wanted to know.
Yeah, definitely. And one more thing now.
Yeah,
Uh, so another question. Most of the students that they ask me now, the thing is, whoever asked from me, they are from the commerce field. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
I have a sir who's from University of Motua. So that's Fadlan. I don't know
yeah,
if you
yeah,
heard. He teaches physics and math. So
yeah.
from him, they ask regarding the science field. So when they ask me, they ask, what degree should I do? Should I do economics? Should I do math? Should I do something related to international business? So there are so much of questions. So if you all can share your idea, like how do you all select? So what I was telling them mostly was, do a degree. In case if something happens, you can definitely move on to other fields as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's something
yeah,
like
100%.
yeah,
masters, you'll definitely know something related to O levels. You get what I'm saying
yeah,
when I
yeah,
say, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Not just because I teach economics, but I generally what I tell them is do a econ degree.
yeah,
I'm telling from my end, okay?
yeah,
Because if you do a econ degree, whether it's accounts or whether it's BS, definitely you're going to get that option.
for
So
sure,
any there'll be job openings. So
for sure.
from both of your perspectives, like how did you all select the degree, and what were you all looking into it, and will you all stick into that? Oh, if you all look into me, guys, I have done a BS degree, a business administration, specialized in strategic management, but I'm teaching economics.
Yeah,
Obviously, to teach A levels and O levels economics, you don't need so much of knowledge, but I have definitely gone through all those things. But what I'm trying to say is like, now you all are doing a particular degree, but definitely I'm sure, Manit, you might not do that. Your field might change.
Yeah.
Ishira, your field might change.
Yep.
So if you can tell both of you, tell how did you select the degree and what were your options? If you can just give a small idea on that, it would be great.
Yeah. You want me to start off with you? Yeah.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll add on.
Yeah. So to me, I was actually debating between economics and CS because of those exact reasons where like those are the two degrees that kind of gave me that flexibility to kind of go into different things. And then what I realized with time, the only reason why I picked CS over econ was because I like the technical kind of like, getting into like computational problems kind of thing. I think I do agree with your point that you need to have like a lot of options, especially if you're unless like okay for a fact that I am definitely going to do this. This degree will give me this specific opportunity to get to this point, right? But I don't think a lot of people are like that, right? I think the majority of people are like their minds change, and I think you change your mind with time. So like if you have a degree where like I think a lot of people like think this degree gives me this opportunity, but I think like if you get this one degree where like it gives you multiple opportunities, just like you said. So like even in econ, I think especially over here, I just feel like a lot of fields just don't really care about what your degree says. So like if you do like in CS, like the reason why I chose it is because it's like a problem solving degree, right? So even if I want to do something on the financial end of things, like for example, like I'll be moving to like city like I'll be working at Citibank, and that's one of the biggest banks here, right? So like and
Okay.
I'll be working as so like these fields also like want to take us even if you're CS. And even in econ, I think like a lot of people either like go into like business. If they want to do a business, I don't think they don't need to study like business for it. And I think a lot of people who are very good business people over here actually have their degrees in like something a bit more technical like CS or what do you call econ or something. And they if they really want to learn like business, like the like in terms of an academic front, they just do an MBA on top, you know. So like I think like doing something a bit more technical and something a bit more like academically rigorous is good in because it kind of helps you think, and people abroad kind of employ you for that, like your ability to think, in my opinion. And like whatever skills you need, like for example, like, if I want to be an accountant, I can be an accountant. All I have to do is just get the certifications for it and just apply for the job, and I have like work experience and whatnot, and I could just show that. So like yeah, so I definitely agree with that, and that's just how I thought okay, I had multiple interests, but CS is like the
Yeah.
closest in terms of like addressing all these interests. So, like if I want to do consultancy, if I want to do like right now I'm doing software development, but like if I want to do consultancy, or even if I want to go into like something like business analysis or financial analysis, I can still do it. So yeah, that's my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bonnet kind of echoed my sentiment as well. Like, I 100% believe in like if you're not sure that you're going to be in that field for the rest of your life, you should definitely tend towards some major or some like degree program that is very problem solving slash quantitatively oriented. And I say this from like a person who's like changed his idea of what he wants to do like multiple times, because coming out of secondary school, I thought I was good at math, I was good at physics, I was going to be a physicist. That was my thing. So like doctorate physics, whatnot, right? But then as I was doing physics, I realized that yes, I like learning physics, but I don't think I want to stay in the field for the rest of my life, right? And then I started looking at other options. So my other the what I tried to do was I tried to go into engineering physics, which is more like engineering oriented. So it's not like the hardcore particle physics kind of thing, right? It's more like you look at the physics of materials, you look at things like that. And from there I realized, wait, I still don't like this. And then I found computer science. And as Manit has told you, like computer science is very problem solving oriented and it's very applicable. And so instead of like ditching physics, now I have physics and CS, and that's kind of how I've gone about it. But like definitely, like if you're not sure on what you want to do, I like echo what Manit said, and like just go towards something quantitative and go towards something that's very applicable to other fields. Because like even in physics, the math skills you learn, the statistics you learn, if you do research or something like that, you can go be a data scientist. You can go be a quant for a big financial firm, right?
Yeah,
You
same
can
with
go,
economics.
yeah,
Like I've seen a lot of
yeah.
economics majors just like turn into like data scientists and like business analysts and all that.
And
But yeah,
you'd be
good.
surprised, but there's a huge number of physicists who become economists, right?
Yeah,
There's a pretty big number there, right? Because they're very like quantitatively strong, and then they realize, if I go into economics, I can earn well, and I can apply the skills that I've learned over the years, and they end up in that field. So like, yeah, it's just from my experience, I think, yeah, 100% go towards something quantitative. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. So that's one of the main concerns. Most of the students they should know what to do, because today one of the most common thing is I'm doing a business management degree. I'm doing a
Yeah,
business degree. It's easy. They always want the as Sri Lankans we want the
easier
shortcut.
path. Yeah,
But
yeah,
at the end
Yeah.
of the day, that shortcut is not going to
give you
go
long term
towards
benefit.
what you can't achieve what you want to achieve. Yeah.
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 So that was great. So
Yeah.
that was the main thing I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.